What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? I'm Bro Boss, back at it again, doing a little bit of a different video. I want to show you the final form of my setup. Now, with the couple of pictures that you see right in front of me, my setup has gone through multiple different changes over the years, from a single monitor setup to a TV mounted on the wall, to where I had 3 different monitors at one point, but this seems to be the final form I'm happy with, and I want to discuss how my setup is set up, if that makes sense. So we'll start over here. We got the rig fully updated. There is nothing more I can do to it. Last time you saw this rig, we slapped a 7900 XTX from MSI in there and a Radeon 5950X, the most powerful Ryzen AM4 socket CPU that money can buy. This was the last, I don't know if it was the last AM4 CPU, but it was the last of the Ryzen 9 before they moved on to AM5 socket. We added 128 gigabytes of RAM. A win overkill. And we added 2 more SSDs. We added a 2 terabyte M.2 SSD, and we add a PNY SATA SSD. I got that. I wanted at least 2 more SSDs, and I ran out of M.2 slots because I only have 2 on this motherboard. And that's all we've done to it. Oh, I did get a 14 terabyte hard drive, but that's within reason. I don't think that was too much. And I know I'm sounding... What's the word? I'm being sarcastic. That's the word. I'm being sarcastic because here's the deal. When you're doing YouTube videos, you're constantly taking pictures. You're constantly shooting videos. In this case, I'm shooting high resolution video. This video is being shot in 4K right now. And that takes up a lot of space. Not to mention all the thumbnails that I sit here and edit, create, all that stuff. I need a place to store it, so I stored it in a 14 terabyte external Western Digital drive. I got an external drive because it was cheap. It was a lot cheaper than buying a 14 terabyte hard drive on its own. I don't get that why the external hard drives are cheaper than the internal ones when the external has a lot more going on for it. Makes no sense, but sometimes building computers, it doesn't make sense. Over here we got my beautiful Samsung 4K monitor. And I got this at a pawn shop. And I don't remember, I think I paid $120 for it. I traded in my old Acer 1080p monitor for this Samsung 4K monitor. The only disappointing thing is it does not have a high refresh rate, which is not really good for gaming. Looks phenomenal when editing videos and stuff, but it's kind of a preference thing. I would like to have the higher refresh rates, but 4K at 60 hertz, it's pretty good. It's got a lot of ports in the back of it. It's got HDMI display and I think a VGA port in the back, so I plug all types of stuff back there. So, didn't realize how good DisplayPort was until I started using it. It's really convenient, surprisingly, and it's built like a tank. So, I traded in my old Acer panel for this. I paid a little bit more money for it. And it's worked out phenomenally for me. I'm very happy with it, and I have no need to upgrade. It's not a gaming monitor, but it's a beautiful monitor nonetheless. And with our peripherals, we got the Razer DeathAdder Essential mouse, and we got the Razer Black Widow Essential Gaming Keyboard. I love Razer. They make really good gaming products, and they really make good gaming peripherals. I do all my work on it just fine, no complaints. I probably need to get a rest because I have been... It's been coming to my conclusion that I have early carpal tunnel syndrome.
Carpal
tunnel syndrome. That explains why I've been having so many problems with my hands, and a lot of it comes to using a keyboard and having bad keyboard elevation, which I did not know. So I'm going to be trying to keep that in mind because the last thing I need is my hands locking up. I still work in oil and natural gas. That has not changed. I still work for the same company. And the last thing I need is having bricks for hands that I cannot use. That would be a nightmare in the sense. And we move over here. We got probably one of my favorite devices here, and that is my Blue Yeti Classic microphone. We've gone through a lot of these. We had a silver one, a platinum one, we had a red one, I unboxed the blue one, and we ended up with a black one. I want to tell you how this, but if you look down here, I am growing my Yeti collection. My fiance's pissed that I keep doing this, but I got a teal Yeti, I got a midnight blue Yeti, I got a fire red Yeti, and I got a brand new, unused, exclusive, limited platinum edition. The next one I'm going to get is the original THX from 2009. I have one on eBay, brand new in the box, and it's phenomenal. How I ended up with this is a midnight black Blue Yeti, and the reason why I ended up with this is during Christmas, when we were doing gift exchange, I got my buddy the Yogcaster kit from Logitech, which comes with a Blue Audio boom arm, a shock mount. It didn't come with a pop filter, surprisingly, but I got him a pop filter whenever I bought him his microphone. And I thought that's all it came with, but turns out it didn't. It came with also a classic microphone, a classic Blue Yeti. So like, oh, okay, I'll just resell this. No. Logitech, I don't know what you're thinking, because for some reason it was more expensive to buy the stuff separately, so I just got it all in a bundle. And I didn't know it came with the microphone too. But it doesn't come with the stand. You can't put it back on a desk stand. It doesn't come with it. That's just gone. It's just the microphone itself. So you had to use it with the shock mount and the boom arm. And unfortunately, I didn't really feel like trying to buy another one, and Devin had no need for another microphone. So I went ahead and took it, and I put the red one back on its stand and put it back in the box for preservation. And that's what I've been using since. People can shit on the Blue Yeti all they want. DankPods is where I go to get all my audio advice and stuff. And he says good audio stays good. The Blue Yeti was good in 2009 when it released. It was good during the big YouTube blow up between 2012 and 2016 when YouTube went crazy and everyone was using this microphone. It was just as good then. It's just as good now. I'm not going to deny there are other options, better options that cost the same amount of money, if not cheaper. My fiance's got a better microphone than I do. She's got the Elgato Wave 3 microphone, which is basically kind of put it the modern Yeti, and it sounds better. It's better in every way. It doesn't look as good in my opinion. It kind of looks like a brick. I mean, this guy kind of got some character to it. I don't know. I've always been fixated on the look of the Yeti, and it sounds pretty good for what it is. Speaking of other audio devices, I do got these. These are my do-it-all headphones. This is what I use when I'm playing games. This is what I use when I'm listening to music, watching YouTube videos, and editing videos. These are my budget studio reference headphones. These are Sennheiser HD58X Jubilees. And these are my favorite headphones of all time. They're very nice, 150 ohms, and they feel good. They squeeze good. They're just... I can't praise these enough. And it is definitely a nice complimentary towards the setup. I also got an SD card reader. I got a burner USB drive, whatever it is, optical drive. My Afterglow controller, which is what I use on my PC for whenever I want to game. And of course, my cactus. As we keep moving, we got my main webcam for this. This is just proof. I want you to use my setup as an example. It's like you don't need matching parts. You don't need this and that in order to have a good, decent setup. Just use what you got and then grow from there. This is a Sony Handycam 405, I think? 405, maybe? I don't remember the exact model number. And this is what I use for my main webcam. It's got autofocusing. It does 1080p 60. It's overall a good webcam solution. And the one I started off with was blue, and it was the 240, which is not as clear or as sharp as this one. This one got used as the webcam, and of course, That's what I started off with. I found this for $5 at a flea market, and I knew exactly what I was going to do. I was going to use it as a webcam. And it just proves you don't need to spend a lot of money to get a decent webcam. I look phenomenal, in my opinion, whenever I make YouTube videos because I'm using this camera. The tripod I was using sucked, and it was terrible. So I did the most redneck thing I did. I got me some Alien double-sided tape, and I slapped that shit right there. It's perfect. I don't need to do anything else. No tripod, no nothing. It's just there. We keep moving over more. We got my first real camera upgrade. Obviously, you guys know my mom passed away in 2022, and I inherited her camera, which is a Canon Rebel T3i, and I looked phenomenal in the videos. It took amazing videos. The problem was it being of a DS. It is a DSLR camera from start to finish, and although it takes phenomenal pictures and phenomenal video, it is an all manual camera. Like, I'm pretty sure every DSLR camera is all manual. They might have upgraded to where they got a lot of automatic features, but for the most part, all DSLR cameras are manual cameras, which unless you got a camera person with you at all times, they suck to use by yourself. Okay, when the first video I shot with it was the vintage stock video where I took you guys to my favorite gaming store. Let me tell you, there ain't nothing more frustrating than sitting here stretching your arm out with a heavy ass camera and then hoping you look focused in it. Ain't nothing more frustrating than that. And over here, I got these. These are cheap Walmart speakers. The ONN brand. And here's the deal. Only time I ever use speakers on my computer is when I'm watching YouTube videos. Other than that, I use the headphones all the time. And mostly because I don't want to wear headphones all the time. I get tired of it. So I got that. And I also got it rigged up. I have no idea what these are. The logo says HD on the front. But if anybody remembers from my early days on YouTube, I had my first truck was a 1986 single cab short wide bed square body Chevy from 1986. I love that truck to death. Really wish I didn't sell it. It still breaks my heart. That is the one thing I took out of that truck, was this guy had some really crappy speakers in there. Really crappy speakers. This one I kept because it was in a decent box and I was going to hook it up into my '08 Chevy. And then I never got around to doing that, and then I ended up trading that '08 Chevy to my current truck, which is the 2015 GMC out front, which I need to do a video on. I'll get to it. And it's pretty good. It's a lot of bass. A lot of bass. Like, shake the desk kind of bass. And I like it. I enjoy it. We keep moving. We got our self-defense weapon at all time, which is, I forget the brand. It's some Italian brand or whatever, but that is a 1911. It's not an A1. I forget what it is, but it's a 1911 chambered in .45 ACP. Well, after the Olympus OM5, as you can see here, the batteries died, and I realized I didn't charge the other batteries after we got back from the Texas trip. Oops. So, the T3 Rebel's coming out of retirement. To finish this video, I'm also using the Rode microphone I got for Christmas. Now, if you guys are wondering why I didn't use that microphone on that camera, Miranda, can you please explain?
DSLRs have hot shoes that have electricity going through them. Apparently, digital hot shoes do not. I
do not know of digital cameras specifically. I just know that camera, the hybrid, does not have it. Unless it is in settings and not enabled. I have no way of getting that camera to work with that microphone. So for now I'm using the big boy, which I don't want to because it's kind of inconvenient in size. But we do what we got to do here at Unbearable Boss Incorporated. Now, where we left off was 1911, .45 ACP, all steel gun, steel magazines, or stainless. They're brushed steel. Stainless steel magazines and brushed steel grips. Usually, whenever I take the GMC out, that's my truck pistol, and I keep the Beretta M9 in my work truck. So stay strapped to get clapped, boys, and for the women who occasionally watch my videos too. I got this lamp here. I've had this lamp since forever, and I've used it for lighting. Something I don't have out is I do have a green screen, which is not out at the moment because it's really big. And sometimes it helps to shine the light at the green screen to help light it up. I got this USB hub. If you're wondering why the Amazon Alexa is here, this is actually a first generation Amazon Alexa that I picked up at Goodwill for 15 bucks. Still don't know how to get it to work. I don't know how or why it's not working. It turns on and everything, but it won't be recognized by anything for some reason. Underneath it, I got a USB hub that powers another camera, another microphone, and my Razer Ripsaw capture card. Now, this is probably unique. If you guys want to copy how I have this set up, go right ahead. If not, I understand this is a little bit complicated, but I have two different size monitors, and that's on purpose. I wanted my secondary monitor to be bigger. This is a 28-inch panel. This is a 32-inch curved panel. This one can only do 1080p at 75 hertz compared to 4K at 60 hertz, which is fine. I didn't need my secondary monitor to be 4K. And even if it was, unfortunately, the Razer Ripsaw does not support 4K recording. It allows 4K pass-through, but not 4K recording. So, even though I have consoles that are 4K, I can't really record 4K consoles. And unfortunately, the 4K capture cards are just really still expensive, and I haven't had the time to record a whole lot of console videos, so it just did not seem like a financial investment that I'm quite ready to make. I'm happy with my Ripsaw. My previous capture card was the Elgato HD60, which I gifted to my buddy Goutmister so he could record game consoles. And when I got home and plugged this in because I thought it was a 4K capture card, no, you can only do 4K pass-through. Literally, the only difference is between this and the Elgato HD60 is one's made by Razer, one's made by Elgato. Other than that, they are completely the same. But I have a bit of a pet peeve. I cannot play console games. If I have a game and I'm playing on a console, I need to be playing on a big screen. I can't play it on a monitor. I don't know why, but it just frustrates me. It upsets me. Make it make sense. But how I got it set up is I got my original Xbox here, and I'm using the Hyperkin. I forget the name. It's a Hyperkin HDMI cable for the original Xbox. It's not good. It sucks, but $30 it's hard to beat, and it's plug and play. I do need to look into the better options when I get the chance. Just haven't had the time. But I got this, my original Xbox, my Xbox 360, and my Xbox Series X, all going to this HDMI switch box. This HDMI switch box, it lights up whenever a HDMI signal is going into the system, and then it comes all the way back into my Razer Ripsaw, and then it sends another HDMI out to this panel, and then it sends via USB-C to the computer to where I can capture it. Now, the biggest negative factor of this monitor, and I don't know why, with it being such a big and nice monitor. This is a nice monitor. It is. But the ports suck. You get 3 ports. You get a headphone jack, you get an HDMI port, and a VGA port. No display port, no extra HDMI. That's all you get. So, unfortunately, because I got one HDMI because I got a display port running into the back of this monitor and then an HDMI cable coming all the way here into this monitor, and I had to use the HDMI for my computer because the VGA does not support AMD FreeSync. Why? That makes no sense. So luckily I already had it for my original monitor that I have here, which was a really crappy ViewSonic monitor. It was really small, really outdated, from 2007, but I used it specifically to monitor my recording and streaming and for my Discord. It was never meant to be played on. I'd only had one job, and that was just to do the busy work. So that's how I had that HDMI to VGA adapter. I already had it, and I had a VGA cable that came with this monitor. So I just put two to two together. I got a VGA cable running from here to the back of the monitor, and then it going to HDMI, and then in the back of the ripsaw. And since none of these consoles I can take advantage of the high refresh rate, and neither one of them, as far as I know, supports AMD FreeSync, that's how I have to have it set up. So don't know what Samsung was thinking. I got this monitor because I wanted a big 32-inch monitor, and that's how I have it set up. Now, how I have it set up is to where all I have to do is, if I want to record on my computer, I have everything right in front of me: mouse, keyboard, and microphone. Now, if I want to play on a game console, we just have to turn the chair, because I have another camera. I wanted to try out a webcam to see if I liked them, because like I said, this is my webcam, which is just an old Sony Handycam from like 2012, 2013, I think. I know the blue one was manufactured in 2014. It was new old stock. I don't know how, that has to be around the same time point, because that is the slightly upgraded model. So I gotta see, when building my fiance's computer, it was really confusing. She wanted to get a webcam, so we went to Walmart and we spent $60 on the ProStream webcam, 1080p at 30 FPS, which was good. And then when we were building my brother's computer, or still in the process, I don't know if that's ever going to get done. He says it where you should have it when his tax return comes in. He's going to buy the parts, so my fiance's computer can be upgraded and we can build his computer. Don't hold your breath. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. If it does, great. If it doesn't, oh well. But when I was getting his peripherals, we got the C920, which is a legendary webcam that YouTubers have been using forever. In fact, some YouTubers are still using it. Slight problem though. When powering it on, I realized the LEDs were blue. And the problem is, Dylan's is a black and red build. So we couldn't have that. And as far as I know, there's no difference between the C920 and the ProStream webcam. They look the exact same. The only difference is one glows white and one glows blue. And Miranda had never used her webcam at that point, so it was basically a brand new out-of-the-box webcam, never used. So what we ended up doing was we ended up just swapping webcams. She's got the C920X, and Dylan's got the ProStream webcam, and that's just because it glowed blue. That's the only reason. Weird, but I've had the most confusing time with buying USB webcams. If I get another camera, I'm gonna do that. This is a lot harder to set up and get working, but I know this. Webcams are confusing. Because I got my cousin the C930 for his Christmas, and it was a white camera, and I got it because it was offered to me at a deal, but I had no idea it was a wide angle camera. Which is fine, he likes the wide angle camera, but at the same time, it looks the exact same except white. Like, Logitech, you gotta help me out, you gotta help me understand. I'm having a hard time understanding. But this one is the C922 Pro, and the only difference is between this and that is that goes white, that goes blue, that can do 720p at 60, that one can't. That one is locked at 1080p 30. This can also do 1080p 30, but it can also do 720p at 60, which I wanted a 60 frame camera, that's all I cared about. And that's why I got it, and it works phenomenal. But whenever I record or stream gaming consoles, I have it set up to where I have my webcam, and I also have this microphone. I bet you're going, boss, you got so many Blue Yetis, why are you using the Snowball? Because the Snowball impressed me. It showed up to the plate, it didn't win the battle, but it survived the war. Okay, it survived, and I said I was going to end up using it in my setup once I got all the stuff, and that's what I ended up doing. And to be honest, for recording Xbox 360 content and original Xbox content, I mean, you don't really need anything better than this. I'm just primarily going to use it for streaming. So, it sounds really good. It's got like a studio vibe to it. And I said I was going to use it. I kept my promise, and I've been using it. But out of all three microphones I've ever used, the Samsung Meteor mic, the Blue Yeti Classic, and the Snowball works with my filters the best. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I really wish I would have clarified in my past microphone videos, but these are my filters. Because I'm in an untreated room, so these microphones just pick up all types of stuff. So I add all these filters. We got a compressor, noise suppression, gain, limiter, and noise gate. And these filters basically allow me to cut out all the BS in the room, but only pick up my voice and do it as clean as possible. And using it with my Samsung Meteor mic, I did not know until I got the Yeti was how artificial and digital my voice sounded. Like, for some reason, the Samsung Meteor mic did not like this configuration, and this is just a basic configuration. It should work with most microphones. It did not work with the Samsung Meteor mic. I will use the Samsung Meteor mic whenever I travel and stuff because it's a durable microphone. So, but yeah, that's what my console setup is webcam, microphone. DK Oldies Xbox 360, still here, still works, still gets used. My original Xbox that I've had for the longest time, it's here, it's hooked up. And also my Xbox Series X is still here and still gets used. So I have all the Xboxes here because I primarily play on all these Xboxes. I have the most games for all these consoles. And unfortunately, the Series X cannot play all original Xbox games or even all Xbox 360 games, so that's why these two guys are here to pick up the slack. The 360 can't play all original Xbox games, so original's here too, so yep. We also got game controllers and whiskey, and I got this footrest and this gaming chair, which this gaming chair wasn't here the last time you saw the setup too. So I just wanted to show you guys the evolution of my setup, what's gotten better about it, and what's gotten worse about it. And honestly, I think overall it's better. I like how it's set up, and I couldn't imagine doing anything else different. Well, except maybe getting a non-glass desk, because I can't rage and smash my controller against the desk without everything coming down with it. So I have to have a lot of self-control. So, on another note, before I end this video, I do want to apologize that Project 2025 has started off shitty, to say the least. Unfortunately, a lot of things happen regarding with Assassin Boy, my brother. He basically told me he will not be making any content until his gaming computer is built. And unfortunately, if you guys seen the video that I uploaded on his channel, which I told him to do other videos, because his first video, even though it was rushed, was extremely successful. And he hasn't done it. And so he kind of, until his computer's built, he's not going to be really a part of Project 2025. Carson Gamer 1, as far as I know, he's still on board. Unfortunately, because of winter absolutely being brutal on me and so many problems happening in the oil field right now with like valves exploding, I haven't had the time to make any videos. Like, this is the very first video I've recorded in all of January. That's how bad it's gotten for me. Devin is still a part of Project 2025. We did a hot sauce collaboration video. We also recorded Cave Blazers, which I still got to edit and upload, and I'm also editing and uploading another video that we recorded back in December, which is Stranded Deep, but that's taking a lot longer than I would like. And Piano Variable, unfortunately and very disappointing, is some stuff has happened to him that's negatively impacted his personal life, and he informed me not that long ago that he will no longer be making content indefinitely for the foreseeable future until he can get his shit together. And I would like to give more on my opinion about that and how I feel, but it probably won't end well for me if I did that. So I told him I respect his decision and I understand you got to put priorities first, and sometimes content creation isn't everyone's top priority, and it hasn't been mine this month, and that's just because work and this cold ass weather has been brutal on me. But I wanted to make a video displaying this, but also explaining myself too. So comment down below what you think. All the photos of my past setups will be in this video, and I'm gonna rate them 1 through 4, and you tell me which one of my setups was your favorite, and if you have any suggestions on what I should do, make sure you leave it in the comment sections. I think I covered everything. I guess the only thing I didn't cover is I got a 6 terabyte hard drive and a 4 terabyte hard drive back there for the Xbox Series X, and that's because new games are massive. They are massive, and more storage is needed. That's the one thing I've been constantly upgrading the storage. It just seems like I never have enough. So. But that's all I got for this video. If you enjoyed, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that post notification bell, and we will see you guys in the next video. Unbearable Boss out.